are you today? Excited for the afternoon session? I hope so. So you know my name already. My name is Pedro. I work for SAP. Maybe one thing that you don't know about me is where I come from. So I will give you a hint, and from that, I tell you a very compelling reason why I'm passionate about technology and innovation. So, which country I am from?
Germany.
No, we have 5 world championships. Yeah, I'm from Brazil. And I could be playing with Ronaldo, not being here just talking about technology, but there is one compelling reason for me to be here. I don't know if you've seen, but robots are coming to the World Cup. And they are planning to beat Brazil by 2050. Can you believe that? They're actually training robots to beat the real players. How crazy is that? So I could be a national hero if I really find a way that the team will play better than any machine ever. And I think this is going to happen for sure. All right, so this is just a small introduction. I work in a team at SAP focused on innovations across several industries. So basically, we learn from one industry, and we try to apply the learnings from that industry to another industry, and we bring innovation across the board for several customers. Trying to add value to you, a very good reference that I have is this book, Leading Digital. Who have heard about this book before? Okay, so take notes. I think it's a very good reading for you to start getting familiarized with the concept of digital. For me, it was one of the best readings I had. And it pretty much talks about 2 things. One is that we, as digital leaders, we need to develop the digital capabilities. So the software vendors will be more than happy to talk to you about that. But the digital capabilities, they are just not enough. You need the digital leadership. So this is pretty much what we have heard throughout the day, that you need to develop your leadership. So probably economists have designed this chart here. It's a 2x2 traditional. So if you're just in the beginning, not many vision, not much digital capabilities, you're just a beginner. However, if in your organization you're really good, you acquire companies, you change fast, but you don't apply those leadership capabilities to a digital economy that is coming, probably you are more conservative, so you could do more. However, on the other side, if you have lots of technologies, so you approve whatever your IT asks you to do, you say, go buy it, just go do it. So probably you are a fashionista, so you just have technology for fun, but you don't have a vision on how to use that technology to help you. But where we want you to be, and this is pretty much what I try to add some value to you today, is to help you to become a digital master. To become a digital master, we believe that all those technologies out there, starting from the core of your organization, all the way to the hyperconnectivity that is available, supercomputing, blockchain, machine learning, which is pretty much far ahead. And the topic that we are going to discuss today, platform economy, which is a huge opportunity for all of you. If you combine that with the leadership, this is going to be very, very interesting. We are talking about making money out of these technologies. Fair enough? Good. So, I want to do an exercise here. Let's focus on platform. So I know you are tired by now. Can you raise your hand like this, just for a second? So what is a platform? Platform is when we facilitate the connection between one side to the other. So just do it with me, one side to the other. So 2 sides, we connect the 2 sides. That's simple. So a platform is a business model that creates value by facilitating exchanges between two or more independent groups. It's a very simple concept that could really revolutionize many industries, and this is happening already. So the mechanics of it is that I have from one side who produces value, from another side who consume that value. So if you connect the two sides, there is a transaction. If you are facilitating that transaction, you are entitled to get something out of it. So this is where things start to become very interesting in terms of using technology to disrupt industries. You might have heard about this concept from some of these companies here. This is pretty much everybody talks about them. But I want to expand the concept a little bit just to let you know that there are so many more possibilities for you to come up with platform strategies. So for instance, you could do a platform for exchange, so pretty much becoming a services marketplace or product marketplace, payments platforms, investment platforms, social networking, and communications. So this is when you are a platform that enables exchange. Or you can be a platform that enables someone to make something. So in those areas, you will have closed development platforms. So if you are more into something more physical, controlled development platform, open platforms, and content platforms. So if we start thinking of the same model that those companies applied to address a specific market, and you think of the area where you are specialized, so you start uncovering so many opportunities. And one interesting thing here is, at the moment that I have these early adopters, or the first movers, so if I have an Airbnb, suddenly I will start having clones of platforms. And by the way, if Airbnb got funding of 794 million, the Wimdu, which is a clone platform that does more or less the same thing, they've got 90 million of funding. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that looking up to someone that was the first mover is something that you cannot do anymore, especially in our region. And I say especially in our region because there are so many platforms out there that we could be launching here, and the only person that we need is you, someone from your company, to get this moving. All right, so as I said, this is basically the combination of using the network effect, so the more people use the platform, the more value the platform has, and finding the demand scale. So you're not looking at the supply, you're looking at the demand. So this is more or less the mechanics behind the platform. And one important topic here is the frictionless entry of platforms. So the easier for me to enter the platform and start exchanging value, the better. Fair enough? So this is just to share with you a little bit of the concept of the platform. Now, let's make money. So how we can get a mindset of making money out of it all? First, you can look at customer experience. I love design. As we saw here, I love customer experience. This is one huge area where we can focus and really making money by understanding the customer, looking at top-line growth from customer experience using digital platforms, all the customer touch points. But also you have the operations. And this is a very interesting area where we have so many opportunities right now. And finally, you can really think of a completely new business model and be extremely disruptive. So customer experience, how can we look at examples here? The one that I love is Under Armour. Under Armour could be a very boring company. However, the CEO of the company, see how he thinks of his own company. Think about the fact that you know more about your car than you know about your body. This is the mindset. And then he comes back to the organization and tells them, when we think about our competition, we aren't worried about the next shoe that someone is going to build. We are thinking about the competition that doesn't exist yet. And we are thinking about it from a digital perspective. So you see, it sets the tone. So when we have the leadership, and this is one of the topics we spoke here, this is what happens. You have so many digital services that comes around a company that you probably think of them selling shoes, right? So with the data that comes out of those services, they know in a geolocation every single thing that is happening with their users. So they can predict their behaviors, they can be more relevant to all of them. Okay? Another one that we've been working as SAP is Disneyland. So they are using wearable, so I can enhance my experience while I'm going to the parks. This is pretty much straightforward, less time, and they can even use that as an upscale. So if you are in our hotels, you receive this device. If you're not in our hotels, you don't have access to it. So it's a way to drive new revenue for them. You could think of the car as a platform. So if I think of the experience of a driver and I try to connect everything around the ecosystem of a driver, from the consumer, the channels, and the services aggregators and the operators of those cars, and instead of paying the gas station, I pay the platform, or could be your platform. Do you understand where I'm coming from? This is a huge opportunity. It's just the mindset that we need to be in place. Operational efficiency. Think of buildings. Okay? You can be a platform that collects data from the buildings, use that data to save energy, use that data to make better decisions about maintenance, predict what's going to fail, and react in real time. So it's a platform that has to do with energy management, for instance. And I just added one slide, and I heard our colleague from Siemens. And I got inspired because actually MindSphere runs SAP. So let's see this one.
If there's one truth in IoT, it's all about connection. You need to be able to connect an asset, but you also need to have a scalable platform. Siemens and SAP together can seamlessly do that from the machine to the app, back into the ERP system. Makes perfect sense. Siemens Digital Factory is a division within Siemens that produces all the solutions around automation, and the new joint product we do together is SAP MindSphere, which is an open IoT platform for applications in the manufacturing space. It's really high precision work. You collect data, for example, out of a drive, so you can predict when the drive will fail and which part of the drive will fail. And if you know that in advance, you can really avoid the downtime and save money. Yeah, so we're talking, in mining, we're talking about $500 to $1 million per hour.
All right. So this is pretty much saying what's the role of SAP. So you come up with an idea like Siemens. It's a very good idea. SAP enable that idea to happen from a software perspective. So we'll go a little bit quicker. So this is using the washroom. And so you can create a platform for the washroom, basically information that's coming from the washroom, and I can maintain that washroom. So I can go back to a hospital and claim that I'm doing the hospital of the future by connecting the washrooms. So you see, simple idea and execution that makes sense. If we go in that direction, it's limitless. The business value that you can capture, and this is what we see from many of our customers, from small customers to big customers, it's so many business value that you can capture. So really, there is a huge opportunity out there. From a new business model, you have at least 5 options. You can either reinvent an industry like Apple, as simple as that, or you can think of substituting products and services, creating new digital businesses like Under Armour did, reconfiguring the value delivery model. So if you're a B2B, you have a little bit more touch of your B2B, B2C, so you're a B2B2C kind of model, or you can rethink the value proposition. So if you're selling air conditioning, now you sell the data that comes out of the air conditioning. Okay? As I said, the role of SAP is to give you the platform components that enable you to create all those digital capabilities. So we are in the digital capabilities, and we are a co-innovation partner with you for the digital leadership, and this is the role of SAP. So we have from our platforms everything that is required for you to achieve this. We have platforms that focus on the user, focus on the customer, understand what they have done, what they are doing now, what they may do, so you are able to provide real-time individualization and contents that are relevant to them. You can focus on having this omni-channel platform, so you can react to your customers anywhere, anytime. And you are able to have a single view of the customer. This is the foundation for any of your capabilities going forward. You should be able also to listen to the social media and use that information to treat your customer differently. And basically, dealing with anything. So the chair you're sitting right now will be disrupted because someone will put sensors on those chairs, and I know the utilization of those chairs during the event. So this is the Internet of Things. And if you want to know more about Internet of Things from SAP, it's called SAP Leonardo, from Leonardo da Vinci. Right? Good. So conclusion here. The time to act is now, and I truly believe that, personally. So the digital masters from that book demonstrates through a huge survey that those digital masters, they are much better financially from a revenue-generating perspective and from a profitability perspective. And this doesn't include companies like Apple, Google, or these digital natives, are normal companies using digital transformation. And it just requires you to start somewhere, and this somewhere is to decide what initiatives are critical to face the new digital future ahead of you and the right capabilities. So what I love about this chart is that if you have time, you can explore whatever you want. If you don't have time, you can either make a partnership and acquisition, or if you want to do it in-house, you can look at your core and simplify your core to redesign everything that you have. Or, one good suggestion for you, go to a greenfield and start something new. We call it an on-the-side strategy. Leave the core running and do something new on the side. Okay? This is a greenfield digital engagement. With that, I thank you very much for your time.